Hello, hello, is anybody there? Is anybody there? Kim, Divine Compassion Healing. I'm just having a cup of tea. Just thought I'd say hello if you wanted to join me. How you doing? What's happening? Bonnie, good to see you. How's it going? I just wanted to check in and share some thoughts. I've been traveling for 7 months now, and emotional biohealing. Now that's a powerful name. And I just wanted to I think I just need to process some of this. So if you're here, thank you. Good to see you. And it's just been an absolute whirlwind going from not knowing who I was, not knowing where I wanted to be in life, to creating a business and actually doing it and it actually working. So I think I just wanted to share some of this stuff with you and hopefully inspire you to maybe push forward or shake off the dust if you need to kind of just, reach another level, whatever it is for you. It doesn't matter where we are on our journey. You could be absolutely crushing it in life and financially abundant and all the rest, but sometimes there's certain little areas of life that we just need to sweep up a little bit now. Do you relate to that? Send me a wave if you relate to that in any way. I know it's been apparent in my life, absolutely. As I've gone on this journey, there's been things that have come up that I didn't expect, some things that I was ready for, some things that was like a wave crashing over. Felt like a sea turtle just calmly going through the waves, and then suddenly realizing I'm on a big wave and not necessarily having the tools. It's been such a joy to follow my dream. That's what I'm trying to say. And for you, Kim, Bonnie, Emotional Biohealing, which I know isn't your real name, but we'll go with that for now, and Divine Compassion Healing. Do you relate to that? Are you truly following your life purpose? And I imagine if you're here right now, you are in some way, shape or form. And it's so important that we all do that, no matter what is happening in our life, to realize ourselves, realize our visions, our dreams, and actualize them. And that's what my business is all about, is helping people to figure out who they are or figure out what they want, and then pushing them nicely up that hill, nudging them until they do it. And it's so wonderful to see my clients. Yes, so grateful. That's what I'm talking about. Let's play gratitude tennis. The sound effects are pretty good right now. And that's a bit more love to you. Oh, love to me back, thank you. And this is what it's about. It really is about love breeds love. And I'm going to say that again because it felt good when I said it, but I really want you to feel that too. Love breeds love. It's so true. I'm living in Thailand right now. My dream was to live and work abroad. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. But me and my wife decided just to take the plunge and just do it anyway. And we didn't know how to set up a business. We didn't know how to be an online business. We didn't know how the logistics of living abroad. And we've done it. And it's working. And we lived in South Africa before Christmas, came home to visit the parents, and then we've flown to Thailand. We've been here for 4 months. We're going to go home, say hello to everyone for a little bit, and then we're going to bugger off again. And it's because we are vibrating higher. We are living our more authentic selves when we're doing so, swimming in the sea every day and drinking fresh coconuts. And I don't want this to sound like a brag, because it's absolutely not. I wouldn't say this to anyone, but to you right now, with me on this journey, just in this time, in this space, I can say this to you because I feel I'm in a safe space and I'm talking to the right people. I know you feel it too. And it's purely from inspiration rather than ego that we followed it, it's working, and it's made us just realize that literally anything is possible. If you believe you can do it and you're willing to keep showing up, then it can happen. And it's happening, and it's absolutely wonderful. So I think I just wanted to share some of this, and I'm really grateful that you're here, and I'm not just talking to myself. Felt compelled to just kind of like, blah, and Color by Lewis Inc. Color by Louis Inc. Is that right? Lewis Inc.? I'm trying. But I felt compelled to share this because it's my truth, and I know it reflects in your life too when you're doing the same thing. So I just wanted to share, I was basically writing a book, and complete nobody knows who I am. I've got clients, I'm teaching meditation, I'm teaching people to get from A to B, whatever their B is, people with going through depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, people wanting to create a business, people going through divorce, all sorts of different things. And I was writing a book, and I was loving this book. I was, in the past I was dyslexic. I don't subscribe to it anymore, but I was very dyslexic as a kid. I had the orange glasses. I couldn't read or write very, very well. And I went down a year when I was 6. And as I went through school, I was at the bottom of every set, even though I went down a set, even though I went down a year. So, I could have gone down 3 years. It wouldn't have made a difference to me. School was not the place for me to thrive. And I struggled. You hear me in my throat go then, oh, my throat chakra. Beaming. It was really difficult, relatively speaking. I wasn't down a mine. I wasn't, relatively speaking, we've all got our issues and they're still valid. I really struggled at school, and it was really, really difficult because I wasn't thriving. I was always trying to get by. I was always struggling. Long story short, I had no self-worth. I had lack of love, blah, 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 blah. I found drugs and alcohol throughout my early teens, and that just went on and on and on. That turned into panic, anxiety, depression, even more lack of self-worth. I was touring in a band. This isn't a good combination for anyone touring in a band, having anxiety for, I had to be drunk the whole time. And it was really, really difficult. And I'd always been a hippie. I'd always been a stealth hippie. I had big, long dreadlocks. And I used to read all this stuff, Ram Dass and Thich Nhat Hanh and Louise Hay and Joe Dispenza. Years ago, I was reading all this stuff secretly. And I was planting the seeds. And although these feelings were coming up, follow what you really want to be following. Follow the love. Follow your bliss. Oh, shut up. I'm in a heavy metal band. Shut up. Nope. He says this as he's holding an Om symbol. And there got a point in my life where these feelings, and you know what those feelings are for you, you can't squash them anymore. They were radiating out of me, emitting out of me. And I couldn't control it anymore. I had to honor them. I had to look at myself in the mirror and go, okay, what is this? And my band broke up, yada, yada, yada. I was stuck in a place where I didn't know who I was. I just got over being an alcoholic. I'd done a lot of work. I was getting sober. And I was honoring yoga, meditation, eating well, thinking good things, reading these spiritual books. And it was starting to actually happen. I was reading all this stuff for years, and it was going in, but it was going over my head. I intellectually and logically understand the concepts of be here now, gratitude, appreciation, joy. I understood all of that. No, sorry, I accepted all of that, but I didn't understand it. I didn't experience it. All of these books, it always ended with love and gratitude, And I kind of got sick of that. Like, oh, here we go. Another book ends on gratitude. Who knew? Oh, look, let's go to the end. Last chapter, love, gratitude for yourself. Others, yeah. And that was my mindset for years, because that was my cynical victimhood mentality. And it just came out of me. And why did it come out of me? I don't mean it literally came out of me. But became apparent in my consciousness, in my thinking mind, that tides have changed, I know you, how's it going? One of my lovely clients, this is a perfect example of, following your bliss. And when you honor it, it expands. And so what we're talking about is honoring that love, that light within you, whatever that love, that light is. It could be a passion, it could be a project, it could be just wanting to change, wanting to get better. I'm starting to sweat now, I'm going to have to put the aircon on. I turned it off because I thought it'd be too loud, but who's kidding who? I'm literally just going to melt before your eyes. I'm melting. Oh! So tell me if the aircon's too loud. But I followed that bliss. I lent into this. I started teaching meditation. I started honoring that I could help people. And that's all I do. I help people help themselves. Years ago, as I was doing this, friends of mine would say, so tan, why thank you. What exactly is it that you do? And they say it in a very patronizing way. And I go, well, the thing is, I help people help themselves, and I'd say it really unconfidently, because I was inexperienced. I was just going through it. I was setting up an online business. I had a very small group of clients, and maybe I had a bit of imposter syndrome. Maybe I didn't quite fully believe in myself yet, because confidence comes from experience. We have to just throw ourselves into it, hence doing a live. And, before I tap go, what do you think happens? It's like, do I do my hair? I'll do a bit of my hair, but then whatever. Do I stand like... I don't care about that stuff, but naturally these things come up. And that's just resistance. It's resistance, and when you feel resistance and it's really powerful and strong, you, my friend, are onto a winner, because it's almost like it's like a plane taking off, needing that wind to fight against it so it can take flight, and we need it as part of the process. So I did that. I just went in. I was at a loss. I didn't know what else to do with my life. I knew that I was good at helping people. I knew that I had this energy. We've all got it. I knew that I could help people feel calm. I knew that if I just changed my voice slightly when leading someone into a meditation, I could maybe make them feel a little bit more calmer. It's funny, you do some of these meditations and people don't change the voice and they're like, relax. I was relaxed. Thank you very much. Next teacher. These little things are skills that you learn along the way. And, we've all got different things. We've all got different projects and businesses that we're working on, but it's all the same. What we're talking about is I wasn't trying to do a teaching here. I just wanted to talk. So thank you for listening. But it's about just being authentic to yourself. And the beauty of this is we don't have to be anything that we're not. We don't have to become anything that we're not. Naturally, we will become a better version of ourselves, or a more experienced version of ourselves, or a more confident version of ourselves. But we don't have to do anything but be ourselves. And the cool thing is the moment you accept your faults, or, those things that you want to hide. For me, it was this. I was suppressing this, which is communicating with people and motivating, inspiring, and nurturing people. For someone in a heavy metal band with dreadlocks, being surrounded by drugs and alcohol and constant... this doesn't really fit into that. So I squashed all those feelings down. Another example is I'm live right now, okay? This is like, we're doing a live, and if you've got a business too and you have to do lives and, you're so like, okay, I've got to get every word perfect. I know my stuff. Am I standing right? Is the lighting right? get it as good as it's going to be. And, if you really want to have a sip of tea, I've been looking at this tea for the last few minutes. Maybe that bit of silence is what you needed in that moment. Maybe me honoring the fact that I actually really needed a sip of tea gives you a little bit of a break from my constant ba 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 ba. So that's a perfect example of me being authentic in the moment. If I just stand here and do what I'm doing and try and be perfect and every word's got to be right and I've got to cover all the points that I was meant to say and all that, that's all head stuff. And yes, we want to be our best, and yes, we want to show up, and yes, we want to tick all the things off. But if we come from the heart space and we trust ourselves that we know ourselves, that's all we ever need. And we know all you need to know is what you know. And anything else is just, be a bonus. So I'm showing up here today. I didn't want to get into teaching mode. I just wanted to chat and share, but obviously just straight in there with do this, do this. But if there's any takeaway here, is being authentic to yourself is the most important thing that you could do for the progress of yourself, your journey ahead. And sometimes those things that you're squashing down, no, not the time, oh no, I don't want to honor that part of myself. Pull it up, pull it up to the surface. You might find that that's the very thing that people remember about you and love you for. Lol, that's me, proper perfectionist. Perfection, it's such an interesting thing. One of my favorite singers of all time is called Mike Patton. He sings in a band called Faith No More, Mr. Bungle. He works with all sorts. He can do all of the voices. He can croon, he can sing, he can scream, he can do all of these things. He's the epitome of perfection. And every note is perfect. And I showed him to my mum years ago, who loves music. She loves music from the heart. And I played her some of this guy, and she goes, yeah, he's good. Kind of in the kind of way that Whitney Houston was good. And I was like, is that a negative? And she went, well, no, it's just that some people are so perfect, it's almost a bit too perfect. And I knew exactly what she meant. Sometimes the scrappiness, the pausing to have a cup of tea, or composing yourself, or telling someone that you don't know the answer to that question. Sorry, I don't know, but I'll find out. Is where the magic is. The Japanese have a great term, wabi-sabi. It's the perfection in imperfection. And that's me through and through. Didn't do well at school. Couldn't really talk properly until I was about 30, 32. It's a late bloomer. I'm a late bloomer, and I'm proud. But what I was saying before was I was writing a book. I was leaning in. I was doing the stuff. And then the pandemic hit. And I realized that who's going to read my book? What am I going to do with this book? I've got a book. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your book. That was a realization I had. And I realized that diving in and creating a YouTube channel and sticking to it and being committed to it will possibly be the best thing I could ever do. It's just giving free information, basically the book, but it would reach more people. And it reached, I'd read your book, thank you. It would reach more people than just stockpiling all this information and hoping for a publisher. I'm going to get back to the book. But first, I needed to put all these methods, teachings, and everything I knew into a place. And that became my YouTube channel. And this was my one commitment, to stay focused on what I was doing. And I'm on this journey of being a coach, right? And I started off as a meditation teacher. And what's happened in the last few years is beyond what I thought I could do. But I kept showing up, I kept leaning in, I kept studying, I just kept teaching and doing it. And I sacrificed, hanging out and getting drunk and all that stuff, and I cut off a lot of things because the feeling of honoring that thing that you've got, whatever that is for you, was far more powerful than not. And I realized as I went through this journey that reaching people with these simple methods was what I'm here to do at this time in my life. I shelved my band, which is my passion, my love. I shelved this book. I got like 85% through it and went on the shelf. And I committed to this. I wanted to reach as many people and expand my business and create something so I can be financially free to write a book, to be in a band, to do whatever I wanted to do, to live where I wanted to live. And it happened really quickly. And I just know that whatever it is that you're doing, you can absolutely do the same. And there's one missing ingredient, and that's belief. Just sprinkle a bit of belief on yourself. Every single morning, wake up, know who you are, even if you're working a job that isn't the thing that you want to be doing or whatever it is for you, know where you're going and sprinkle on that joy, sprinkle on that belief, sprinkle on that trust. How do we do that? You know how to do it. Everybody knows what joy feels like. Everybody knows what trust and belief feels like. You have the power as the amazing human being that you are to tap into that like that. You also have the power to be in fear, to be in doubt, to be worried, to feel guilt, shame, blah, 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 blah. Like that. It's like the kid that's scared of the monster that isn't there. Or maybe it is there. Maybe there is actually a monster there. When the parent comes in, it disappears. It's like, I swear it was there. But it's not there. It's not there, but they're in fear. And your body's chemistry changes to react to what you're thinking about. So this is where it gets really cool, is when we realize that we can change our body's chemistry just by thought alone. If you tune into what you do want every day, how you do want to be thinking every day, your environment changes. What people say to you changes. Might not be just like that overnight, but if you keep showing up and you keep telling yourself, I love you, thank you, I appreciate you. Talk to yourself here, talk in the mirror to yourself if you need to. When you do this, your world changes. And I know this to be true because I've watched it happen in my life. I was an alcoholic. I was dyslexic. I was depressed. I was anxious. I was panicking for nearly 10 years every day. Now I'm not. Well, how so? Lifestyle change. Didn't want that anymore. Wanted something better. Committed to that something better. Not for everyone. Not everyone can do it. You got to really, really want it. I'm very, very stubborn. And that's been part of my success, absolutely. If I decide I'm going to do it, it's already done. That's just how I've wired myself. And, if you're not so stubborn, it might take a bit more work, but oh my God, you can still have it. You've just got to show up every day. It's like we wake up with amnesia every day, and it's like, who am I? What do I do? Where am I today? What have I got to do? And you're on that train then at that point of remembering all the different things that you've got to do, and you forget about who you are. You forget about your essence. You forget about your invisible assets, that charisma that you have, that calmness that you make people feel. Who was I talking to before? I forget. Can I move this? I can. Look at that. Divine compassion healing. I mean, come on, with a name like that, you've got to be a divine, compassionate person. And who was emotional biohealing? Look at all you beautiful people, tides of change. And obviously everybody else that doesn't have one of those, I'm just focusing on you guys there. Guys and girls, everyone, we have this ability to tune in to love, joy, healing, abundance, power, strength, confidence, whatever you need in the moment you have within you, around you, as above, so below. It's not something we need to get. We don't need to get something. We are it. You get what you are. And then you become a vibrational match for what it is that you desire. You're not trying to get what you desire. You get what you are. So practice being what you want to be. And if it's just happy, start there. That's what I did. I wrote smile on my ceiling when I was a really young teenager. Carved it into the ceiling, and every morning I'd wake up and I'd just stare at it. I don't even remember smiling at it. I just remember looking at it. That was my target. Smile. Because smiling, it hurt to smile then. It felt weird. But it went in. It went in. What can I say? The seeds were planted. So I guess what I was getting at was I gathered all of these tools for years, all these methods, these techniques, these practices. I started stockpiling them, started doing them, and I started teaching people. I started teaching people on jobs. Hey, you know what? You look a bit depressed. Do you want to have a chat? People are like, what? Yeah, all right. I've just been dumped. Oh, give me a hug. And we get talking. Hey, look, it's going to be all right. Really? You think so? I don't know. Then they'd laugh. Just whatever you need to do, however you need to talk to people, just come at them with yourself and you will do just fine. I started teaching these methods to people I didn't know just to see how they'd land, how people would react. Just trial and error, failing. Sometimes I did. I'd start talking to someone and they'd be like, shut up, mate, and walk off like, oh, okay, stay in your lane, Ali. Don't just talk to strangers. But it's all data that I used. And I eventually built a course. And I put all of this stuff into my course and more. And I created this course, everything was going well, and I felt like I had enough stuff to actually make it real and put it all into the system and make it official. And I was going through a bag of books and I found all these old exercises and methods that I'd made up and tried. And I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to put those in the course as well. So I tripled my course. And I realized that these are all of the things that I did to get from that kid who was taking drugs that he shouldn't have been taking at 14 years old and not knowing who he was and suffering. And this was before the anxiety and depression. To getting to this guy. This guy. Look, I'm not smiling all of the time, but I'm smiling most of the time. I wake up and I start saying, I love you, thank you. I love you, thank you. Not out loud. It really annoyed my wife. But in mind for at least a few minutes. Saying before I go to sleep, I'll visualize what I want to experience. And I'll be that vibrational match for that thing. Start living it. Start picturing it. What does it look like? What does it sound like? Change that? No, make that better? No, have fun with all this stuff. And this self-work, the shadow work, all of this stuff doesn't have to be brutal. Sometimes it has to be, you have to pull out some old stuff. But the majority of the time it could be a blissful experience. And I think it's just a commitment. It's just a commitment to that journey, that lifestyle of bettering yourself and wanting to be the best version of you. So I put all of this in a massive course. And I was like, oh no, this is far too much stuff. So I called it the Big Transformation. And my take on this was a lot of coaches, not to diss any coaches out there, but I'm gonna, is they give you a little bit and they reel you in. And then once you're in their ecosystem, there's all these set things that you've got to do to climb the ladder. And I've done some of those courses and I know some of those people, and that's totally fine. But it just didn't feel authentic to me to do that. So what I did was I created a YouTube channel. It's free. You know, anyone that comes at me and says I can't afford it, go watch the YouTube channel. There's plenty in there, hundreds of hours of information that if you apply it, you will change your life. And then I created a mini course to help you figure out who you are and where you're going. These were the exact steps that I did to, look at that. I am will, I am love. It doesn't get better than that. Look at the names we've got in this thread. All the ones I mentioned, and I am love. This is so powerful. This is a perfect example of love breeds love. This is what we were saying. I've come here from a place of love, nurture, and I'm a vibrational match for you. We are literally joining together our frequency. And this is proof. It doesn't get better than that. This is actual proof just by the names I'm reading. Bless your journey, brother. Look at that comment. Bless your journey, brother, and thank you. Let's play some gratitude tennis again. All right, enough of that. I'll look like might lose my cool. Too late. So I put this in a mini course, the exact steps that I did to figure out who I was and where I was going. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is life-changing. Other people need to do this. So I made a little mini course called Dare to Discover. And if you want to look at any of this stuff, it's all in you know where to find it, in the bio. And after I created this course, I had a feeling of, oh my gosh, this is so much stuff. But then I decided just to own it, just to completely own what I'd created. And my truth was, I did all of these things. And through all of these things, which took me a long time, I found love, health, wealth, success, and freedom. And this lifestyle that I wanted to live. And I'm just grateful every single day to speak to people like you. And to vibrate and be in this space with you. What a gift. You know how awesome you are. Like, I'm now feeling that too. This is such a gift. So this course that I created is a condensed version of my journey for other people to take on and get to where they want to get to in a lot quicker time than I did. You know, my journey was 25 years of trial and error, not knowing who I was, which teacher, which guru to follow, or, you know, it's just a constant, like, oh my gosh, so overwhelming. Show me how to live. Someone show me how to live. I don't know how to do it. There's so much stuff. It's overwhelming. All these people are telling me to do their courses. I put it in one place. And knowing that all of these methods, exercises, and practices and tools are all in one place, that someone can come in, click it, and then they've got it for life, is just a full circle moment that I can kind of stand here now and almost tune into my younger, dyslexic, anxious, depressed, alcoholic self and go, dude, it's going to be fine. In fact, it is fine. It's all good. And I want that for you. He's dinging away. I want that for you too. If you're wanting a major transformation, if you're wanting to set up a business or do a project and make it successful and lean in, or you're wanting to have the tools to help you just go through anything, I created that for you. To be fair, I didn't have you in mind when I created it. It was all for me. There was no one else. It was all me. This is all just for me so I can be better. But now I've done it, it's all for you. And I'm going to do it again too. I'm going to get back from Thailand, going to go back to London, and I've got basically the spring, summer months, and I'm going to redo my own course just to tighten it even further for myself, because that's how much I love it. And I'm going to go back to Cape Town and do this whole thing again and live my dream. and hopefully inspire you to do that thing that you want to do too. So there's got to be like a chat box here. Maybe it's a comment. Could I put it in here? Oh, I don't know. No, I can't figure this out. Not in real time anyway. Wait, is there a chat box? That's a comment section. Your tools, all right, I thought you were going to tell me. Your tools are in the top right. Absolutely incredible. From even just a couple of sessions with you has helped me transform my negative emotions into a positive practice. So grateful for you. And I am thankful, first and foremost, and I'm very grateful for you too. It's another thing we do. We compliments, we go, whatever. Feel them. Thank you. Thank you, Emily. Love you, appreciate you. And, right back at you. Good morning, selfless survivor. Look at these names. Oh my God. What a bunch of people. I just got a reminder that's popped up on my phone saying evening Zen. So it's time for me to go meditate, look at my goals and visualize for 3 minutes. A non-negotiable I do every single day without fail. It's in the big transformation course. It's all in there. So if you want this course for yourself, so you can just take it on, you have it for life. It's forever, ever, ever. And you can jump in just like I am, going back to it and, going back through some of these exercises. It's all there. And what I've realized is I'm leaning into the fact that it's a big course. You don't need any more courses after this in the self-development, spiritual, field. Of course you can do. And of course you may want to study further, but there's that much stuff in there, step by step, to lead you to where you want to be and to arm you with all the tools you could possibly need to overcome whatever comes up or dissolve or be able to matrix your way through life. When stuff inevitably flies in your face, because it does and it always will. But if you learn these fundamentals and you practice them, the self-talk, the healing, the meditation, the leaning into your purpose, life starts to hug you. Life starts to throw you opportunities. Life starts to hold your hand and walk you through those tough times. And that's what we all want for each other now. We want everyone to live their best lives and encourage each other and love each other and, motivate each other, inspire each other, and want people to love us and to be kind to us. And this is a perfect example of that working. We're all obviously vibrating at a high frequency here. We're all up here in the love or above, as they call it. Love, appreciation, gratitude, enlightenment. This is proof that this stuff works. So, check out the big transformation course in the bio. There's a pre-order price at the moment, which is going to change soon. And I'm telling you, if you do this stuff, your life will profoundly change forever, ever, ever. And I can't wait to hear about your journey. Please keep me updated. Get in touch if you want to talk about anything, if you want to work through anything. But everything is in there. Everything. I spent 25 years coming up with this stuff, unconsciously, subconsciously, and consciously, super consciously. And I spent the last 10 years trialing it out in some way. And I've spent the last nearly 2 years creating it, and it's done and it's awesome, and I want you to have it because I know it will be amazing for you in your journey. And then I want to hear all about it. So hey, thanks for hanging out. Dawn, Beth, I love you. Selfless Survivor, I love you. Emily, love you. Stacy, I love you. Rasim, love you too. I am Will, I am love. I love that so much. Love you, brother. Sam, love you. Prino, I love you. And Jane's life journey. I love you, love you. Ton, hey Tonj, Pratibha. Oh, I'm sorry, I messed that one up. Prativa. Love you. And Gillis. Colaby. Oh my gosh, there's way more people in here than I thought. I thought there was just a few. I love you, I love you, I love you. You know who you are. Thank you so much. Check that link out. Even just read it. If it resonates, just do it. I've got a saying, JFDI, just fucking do it. If it feels good, if you resonate, if you trust me, if you feel good in this space, you feel calm, relaxed, and I uplift you, there's basically a shitload of this. Just like a lot of this. So let me know if you do, and I'll encourage you all the way. I'm going to do more of these lives and just check in and chat and share some stories and some thoughts here and there and exercises. But I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really do appreciate that. I have no idea how long that was. Have the most amazing day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Let me know in the comments where you are. That'd be awesome. Big love, and just keep being the most amazing version of yourself. And then there's this part where I have to turn it off and still try and look like I know what I'm doing. How do I do that? Okay, bye.